Hey, if you're interested in moving to Babcock Ranch, here's 7 things that the builders won't tell you about. So make sure that you stay tuned to the very end because I promise you, tip number 7 is going to save you a lot of time and money. Tip number 1, closing date. The closing dates can change. Sometimes they can come earlier, but most of the time they're always going to come later. This is due to supply and demand. This is also due to, some contractors not being able to come out. There's always scarcity, not enough availability with labor. So just keep in mind that the closing dates do fluctuate. Most of the builders give you either a 10, 15, or 30-day close date. Once they give you that, then you will be able to really hone in on when your closing date actually is. So the main thing that you need to understand is that you do need to close when the builder tells you it's time to close. Make sure that your lending and your financing and your title is all in place. And so if you are using the builder's mortgage company and title company, they'll be able to help make everything come together all at the same time of when it needs to actually happen. If you're using the outside lender, outside title company, just make sure that you keep tabs on them so that they can all close when the builder says you need to close.
So this is point number 2, inventory home. The second thing builders don't always tell you is that there is inventory out here. I've had a ton of customers that had a shorter term because either getting kids in school or maybe a job starting or having to relocate, and they didn't think they had the time to build for the 10 to 14 months that most of the builders are telling you they have out here. That's not actually always the case. There are some builders here who build strictly as a business model, only selling inventory homes. They select the homes on the lots with the options, and it's a much shorter term because they're already under construction. In addition, just after the COVID, when labor or materials was starting to get scarce, it was a little easier for even some of the semi-custom builders to decide, let's start building a few homes ahead of time so that we've always got something to offer our customers. So be careful, look around, have your agent take a look for you and find out where you have inventory homes available and talk to all the builders. You'll be surprised. There are homes out here that can get you into a much shorter time frame than the full-term construction.
Tip number 3, you can negotiate. Another tip that the builder will probably not tell you about is that you can negotiate price. So I have a perfect example of when this happened. There was a home that was under contract with the builder. The buyer had to back out 30 days before completion. It was originally listed at about $515,000. I had a buyer that could close within 30 days. And so we negotiated with the builder that my buyer could get it at approximately $500,000 because my buyer was able to close, and because everything was already picked out with the interior finishes and everything, and because the builder wanted to get it off their books and be able to meet their quota at the end of the month or the end of the quarter, the builder was able to accept the lower price, and my buyer was able to move in, and everything worked out great. So the bottom line is that you should always try to negotiate with the builder, especially if you are, new to this. Be able to hook up with your realtor. A lot of realtors, they don't know that you can negotiate. Our team is really good at this. We're able to get information from builders immediately whenever something falls out of contract. And so since we have a great relationship with these builders, they really help our team and our clients with getting great deals.
So the fourth thing that you may not always hear from builders is that the pricing is always increasing out here. That's done by a matter of strategy. For instance, say somebody like a Toll Brothers, they'll have a VIP weekend right before they open a community where they'll pre-sell. And those prices are lower than they're going to be even the week after they open, just to try to get anybody in here and move and have some traction. That's actually pretty common for all the builders. They have basically some planned appreciation going on here where maybe the lots they'll release, if they have 100 lots, let's just say, they'll release 3, 4, 5 of them, a couple of each different category at a certain price level. And as soon as they're sold, the next level of lots that are exactly the same are going to be a 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe $10,000 more. Same thing happens with the floor plans. They'll sell something for a lower price at the very beginning of a community with the plan that every month or every couple of months, they're going to raise the prices of those floor plans. Does a couple of things. First of all, it gives you a great incentive to get in early to these houses because you're going to take advantage of those lower prices and that planned appreciation. But second of all, it helps as these communities grow to create some appreciation. So houses continually appraise and you've always got some demand out there. So again, The earlier you can jump in on these communities, you're going to have to deal with a little bit of growing pains with some of these construction things going on around you. But at the end of the day, it's going to save you a ton of money and probably give you a lot of appreciation a little bit earlier.
Hey, we hope you're enjoying this video. Do us a favor, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell, as Team John Grudy is always releasing new content on Babcock Ranch. We've got some awesome resources you need to check out. One is our new website, babcockranchnewhomes.com. We've got some amazing articles about what it's like to live here. We've got real-time price ranges to buy all the different models in the community. And if at any time you want to take it to that next step, you can schedule a video conference with one of the team members at talkbabcockranchnewhomes.com.
All right, point number 5, the builder's mortgage company may not always be the best one for you. So be very careful. The builder really wants you as a buyer to use their mortgage company. They will throw out, big numbers, $10,000, $15,000 that you can save in closing costs. We always like to caution our buyers, have a third party or outside lender on hand, on call, and available so that you can simply just compare the rates and the discount points between your lender and the builder's lender. A lot of builders, they try to say, hey, we'll give you this much money off. But at the end of the day, once you analyze everything between the builder's lender and the outside lender, you can find out that the builder's lender may not always be the best for you. Yes, they'll give you money up front to cover the closing costs, but in the long run, over your 30-year term loan, you'll find out that you're paying even quadruple more than what you would be paying if you used an outside lender. So always have an outside lender, just for the bare fact that they can help you negotiate. And then when you get really close to closing, then you can choose which lender is the best for you.
Okay, so the 6th thing that you may not hear from builders is that not all warranties are created equal. In other words, some are not transferable to the next owner. So when you're building a home, or even if you're buying a resale of a home, look into that carefully. Find out if that warranty is transferable. If you're buying that home brand new, it's going to be a resale point for when you want to go sell it, that you can offer that to your new buyer to continue on with your warranty. If you're buying a resale, find out, am I still covered, or does it end with the first person who bought that house? Not all the builders treat that the same. For instance, Lennar, their warranties expire when the first person sells their house. Other builders like Pulte, it is transferable and it moves on to the next person for the period of the warranty coverage. So look into that carefully. Again, have your agent research that for you and make a good decision.
Okay, so tip number 7, you can use a realtor. So make sure that even though you're buying new construction, yes, even though the builders have their own builders reps, please do yourself a favor and use your own realtor. Keep in mind, these builder reps, they only represent and work for the builder. They do not represent you. So make sure that you have your own representation, have a buyer's representation to be your realtor. And so, think about this. Some builders may not, want you to bring your own realtor. Now, why would that be? Well, of course, it's because the builder wants to save money. But keep in mind that at the end of the day, who's going to represent you? Who's going to advocate for you? The builder's rep will not. So you need to make sure that you have your own buyer's representation so that they can go over the deal with you, go over the contract with you. Plus, whenever you come here and you're just shopping around by yourself, that builder's rep can only sell you what their builder is selling you. They can't help you with every other builder in this community. And so that's why a builder's rep is so important, because they can show you all the different builders, all the different floor plans, all the different communities. We are not biased about which home that you purchase, whereas a builder's rep is going to be very biased because you can only purchase from their builder.
Hey, thanks again for joining us on this video. Team John Grudy, we're always bringing the latest and greatest up-to-date news about living right here in Babcock Ranch. If you'd like to work with the team, you can either email us at info@swfloridarealestate.com. You can call our office line at 941-216-6494. We also have the ability to schedule a video conference. Just go right now to talkbabcockranchnewhomes.com. Someone from the team will meet you on that video call. Or if you're ready to come to town, you're gung-ho, you know Babcock Ranch is the place, go right now to tourbabcockranchnewhomes.com, and someone from the team will meet you right in Founder Square and give you a custom tailored tour to help you find your dream home. So we look forward to working with you in the near future here, and as always, we hope to call you neighbor one day.